There you go. So yeah, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about Pitch Hero and Bookteq, the integration with Pitch Hero and Bookteq, the partnership as a whole, why it's the right tool for clubs, and why it will help you manage your venues and hopefully increase revenue. We'll do a demo of some of the new features that Bookteq have released. So there's some pretty exciting stuff and stuff that will, I know from previous feedback from clubs that have already been using it, stuff that people have been wanting to use and make use of. Then we'll look at some case studies and price and how much it would cost, and then give you some more information about what you need to do next to actually get started with using Bookteq. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Dan, and he'll just give you a bit more of an overview of Bookteq and Playfinder.
Hi everyone, thanks everyone for joining us this evening. So a little bit more about who we are. So if you view our company as Playfinder, and Bookteq, our venue management software, is a product that falls under the umbrella of Playfinder. So we'll go on a little bit about Playfinder in a minute, but essentially we created a marketplace through Playfinder to allow local users to find local sports facilities and give them a platform to actually discover new ones and to book and pay for those facilities as well. So it was engaging local communities, engaging customers, and also providing more of a platform for venues such as yourself to generate more exposure, more revenue for their facilities. Then that's when we came up with the idea with Bookteq, because we also wanted to help venues and organisations like yourself to manage the day-to-day, to manage the actual venue and facility as a whole. So that's what we view ourselves. We view ourselves as a venue management system, and our software Bookteq can help you manage any type of space or facility you have. It's not just restricted to sports facilities. I know commonly amongst grassroots and higher level clubs, there's not just sports facilities and pitches that you have. There's lots of classrooms and bars and conference rooms and things like that. Many of you may hold events such as parties or weddings, so Bookteq is also really useful to actually manage those types of either events or space as well, so it's not restricted. And as I touched on before, the mission really of the product is to increase revenue, increase exposure for you as a club. You know, you might have a grass pitch slot on a Friday afternoon that never gets filled. We can help you do that. And we can also help increase, you know, those space hire bookings as well. And also, you know, we want to keep the community engaged. We want people to find, to have a really easy platform for people to come, view your facilities, view your spaces, and actually be able to book those with ease. And also what we do is we want to reduce the admin time that volunteers have to go through in order to manage that day-to-day process. We know it's not an easy task, and we know a lot of work goes into that. So Bookteq will actually help you reduce that admin time drastically. So that was a little bit about Bookteq. This is about Playfinder and as a company as a whole. And when I mentioned the marketplace just before, this is what I was essentially talking about. So we are the UK's leading sports booking portal, and customers can go onto our website, can put in their address, and it will show up local sports facilities based on their search. We have over 100,000 users actually come through the website every month, generating traffic, and over 600 venues are actually signed up, listed on our Playfinder marketplace. So we don't just work with sports clubs such as yourselves. We work with any type of organisation or venue that has similar types of facilities. So these could include local authorities, community centres, and even schools, which are quite common. We have over 270 search terms in the top 3 on Google. So this means our work with SEOs, if people are going to be searching key terms for sports facilities around your area, then we will be ranking in the top 3 of those Google searches. And we have over 20,000 followers across all social media platforms as well. So back over to you, Dan.
Yeah, so this kind of led us to a partnership with Bookteq. So as you saw there, they've kind of the core values of what Bookteq are trying to achieve matches closely well with what Pitch Hero is. We're trying to help you increase revenue, reduce your admin time, engage with your community, or be it online in this case. So when we started talking to Bookteq, we definitely saw that there was an opportunity for us to provide this service to you from the best in class on the around. So that brought us to this partnership, which is venue management and online booking system, which is fully integrated into your Pitch Hero Club website. We'll go into a bit more detail into that in a minute. So far, we've got around 20 venues from Pitch Hero that are using this system. So that's 20 good examples of clubs that have highlighted a need to modernize and increase monetization of their facilities. So if you go on to the next slide for us, please, Dan, you should be probably familiar with something like this. So this is the feedback that we got when we did a bit of research on what clubs were using to manage bookings. It was something like this. It was just a notebook behind the bar, a spreadsheet, people just ad hoc knowing that people were going to be at certain rooms at certain times. So it was unorganized and easy for a problem to occur. So we saw that this was an opportunity to modernize. But also, if you've got facilities that are not being used, whether it's a room, whether it's just a field, whether it's the side of your pitch, there's a massive opportunity for increasing that revenue. And also, we were told by customers when we asked these questions in a survey that it caused a massive admin headache trying to organize and arrange bookings for their facilities. So that's where the kind of need for the partnership came about. And as I mentioned before around the facilities that you might have, this is just one example of a club that uses Pitch Hero. Your club might be on a similar scale, it might be smaller, but it just gives you an example of what kind of facilities that you may be able to monetize. So for example, this club, they've got the usual grass pitches. So if they were available to be hired out to the local community, you could do that through Bookteq. You've got an outdoor 3G pitch down the bottom. Again, perfect for hiring out through Bookteq. You can use it to hire out a certain section of your pitch to people in an hourly slot basis, like you do see on a five-side kind of bookings that you might be familiar with. You've got clubhouses with multiple rooms. You could actually, each room and each space is a separate facility that you can monetize. And then this one's interesting. We found that it's good to think outside of the box as well when it comes to the facilities that you do have. So this club here, they've got an outdoor area, which is mainly for people to stand whilst they watch the football. But what they found is that they could hire that out to people like PTs and fitness classes, to just a small space which is not used at all, doesn't interfere with the pitch and ruin the actual pitch. But they were able to book it out, hire it out to PTs to run fitness classes and boot camps. So just thinking about what facilities you've got and where you could potentially monetize is obviously one of the first steps that we'd encourage. And after we kind of organize this partnership with Bookteq, and we'll go into the Bookteq system in a bit more detail later on, we initially wanted to kind of make sure that it was integrated with the Pitch Hero system, so clubs can embed a Bookteq booking calendar on a Pitch Hero Club website. So you create the Bookteq account, you would put your spaces, your facilities on there. Once you've completed the whole kind of onboarding process and got that set up, you can embed, you'll have a calendar area within your club website and bookings area within your club website where people can go on and book those facilities online. And that's available 24/7. It's not just waiting for somebody at the bar to be around or someone at the clubhouse, someone trying to bring somebody on the mobile. You can just go to the website any time of the day and make a booking. It handles payments, email confirmations, and invoicing through the Bookteq platform. So the booking can be taken through your club website, and then all of the back-end stuff within Bookteq you get access to as well. So you can do all of this with ease. And as a club, as an organization, you can manage who's got access to which areas. So you can see who's got access to the payments side of the booking system and somebody who has access to the reporting area. So for example, your treasurer might just want to see what money's coming in, and you can do that kind of thing with Bookteq too. So this is an example of what you might have seen already within the back end of Pitch Hero within your club control panel. So if you go into your club control panel, you'll see a facility bookings area. And in here is where you can actually get started. It's really simple to actually get started and start using Bookteq. You just click on the Get Started Today, Connect to Bookteq button. And crucially, there's 1 month free with everybody who wants to use Pitch Hero, wants to use Bookteq. So I would definitely recommend giving it a try. It's a no obligation trial. So, you've got your 30 days for free. And if at the end of the 30 days, you don't feel like it's going to give you that ROI or help with, reducing the admin that you're currently having to do to manage your facilities, then that's fine. It's completely fine. You can cancel the subscription. We'll go into pricing in a bit more detail in a bit later on. There you go. Yeah, so you got your 1 month free trial. So I'll give you back to Dan to kind of touch on the Bookteq product and the roadmap a bit more.
Thank you there. So I think one of the themes that we've consistently had with these webinars has been to portray a more generic view of the system and give a nice overview as to what basics it does right. But this week we've decided to change it up a little bit, and as a company, Bookteq has quite an intense and busy roadmap over the coming months, and there's a few things that we're really excited about. So I thought this week we could actually take a little bit more of a deeper look into that and actually show these features live. So what I'm sharing with you now is actually a summarized tech roadmap for Bookteq. So this outlines some key things that we have released and also some things that are coming over the next month or so. So as you can see from that top row, we've just released a brand new Playfinder app. So people can actually download that app now. You can create an account and you're actually able to go and search for your local sports facilities and book and pay those online. We have had an app always, but this is just taken a nice makeover, as it were. So lots of new things incoming on that. We've also released a feature called Pay Split. This allows a lead booker to actually share the amount or share the cost of a booking with their friends via social media outlets. This is a really positive feature in spreading awareness of venues and facilities amongst friends and also amongst the community. We view it as a great way if a lead booker is the only person who books and he doesn't expose that to his friends, then he's only got one contact there, where if you spread that awareness, then more people are going to be bought into the venue, more people are going to know where they're going. A few more things that we're going to touch on actually in this webinar, that is the customer portal, instant block bookings and payment plans. The customer portal essentially gives users the opportunity to create their own Bookteq account. They'll be able to see all their past, present and future bookings that they've made at any venue at any given time. They'll be able to manage payments for those. They'll be able to edit, cancel those bookings. So it really puts more of an onus on the customer to have more control over their bookings. So if things do change, then they're the people that are actually going to be executing that themselves. It saves them going back and forth between the venue for unnecessary communication. Instant block bookings will allow customers to actually block book online themselves based off live availability through the calendar, and customers will also be able to select their own payment plans for these larger sized bookings, and these we're going to create on a weekly, monthly and quarterly basis, and we're going to show you what that looks like in just a bit. And the next one is activities and camps. So think of these as sessions, as courses, as classes. You're going to have the opportunity to actually run your own sessions, run your own summer boot camps. You could actually host football courses or football seminars where local organisations or companies may be putting those courses on. You'll be able to actually host those, and people will be able to book slots online through Bookteq. So some really exciting stuff that's going to take Bookteq in a really new, exciting direction. So what's coming now? These are going to be the three main things that I'm actually going to be able to show you live. And these new features are the instant block bookings, the payment plans, and the customer portal, like I've just said. So instant block bookings is going to allow customers to instantly block book. So it's going to be a really useful feature for clubs looking to actually book their season fixtures in advance or their training sessions in advance. We've had a few conversations with some Pitch Hero clubs who are really excited to actually use this for that specific reason. Again, it puts the emphasis on the club to actually go out there and do the work themselves. It reduces the work for the volunteers to keep coming back and forth with the club to see in which slot suits them. They'll be able to see availability. They'll be able to check it themselves and they can make that booking. If fixtures change, if training sessions change, they will have the ability to go into their customer portal and actually edit and change the bookings themselves. So again, it's actually giving the customer more power, more effort, and less admin time, less sort of workload for you as a club. Payment plans, we've gone through that. Customers will be able to actually pay in installments for larger bookings. And for example, if a customer will have the ability to select a weekly payment plan for a large block booking, that will actually allow a customer to be invoiced automatically through Bookteq on a weekly basis, and they will be charged via card for that payment. So it's an automatic process. Again, reducing the amount of time that you as a club or as staff had to truffle through those invoices and make sure all the invoices are sent. This will be done automatically. And again, the customer portal just gives the customer more abilities to view their bookings, edit those, and actually see what's going on. So the clip I'm going to play next, it's going to walk us through the customer's experience. So what you're going to be seeing here is what the customer is going to see. The first clip, this is a couple of minutes, is going to be what the customer is going to see when they make an instant block booking. And then the second half is going to be a short clip on what the customer portal looks like as well. So just to be clear, this is from the customer's view and not from a staff perspective. There's no sound to this, but I will be speaking over the top just to make everything really, really clear. Okay, so this is actually a mock-up of a widget, an online calendar that we will be able to place on your Pitch Hero website. So as you can see, it will mirror your Bookteq account. So dependent upon the space and facilities that you actually want to take bookings for, it will be a direct representation of that. So just for this demo, we've got a range of different sports and activities that the user can play. As a customer, I've selected my sport, and then I'm going to select my space and then my facility, which will be badminton court 1. After selecting that, I'm then able to actually see live availability from that specific day. We have an interactive calendar here, which you can click through those days. I've clicked on the 4th Friday. I've seen a date that I like. Obviously, all the slots that are available are highlighted in green. I can click on that. And then this button here will turn it into a block booking. So I've just gone back. Let me go. So that button there will turn it into a block booking. Now at this stage, I can actually go through. I've gone on one. Let's go back to that. So at this stage, I can actually let's go for a bit here. So at this stage, I can actually go through and check the parameters of how often I want this booking to repeat. So I actually want it to repeat every week. I want it to repeat on a Saturday. I want it for 3 sessions. So that's what these settings actually mean. And then I can go and check availability for that booking. This then typically shows me a list of the bookings that I've inputted, and they're all green, so I know they're all going to be available. And as I can see at the bottom, there is a payment plan option, which then brings me to this window where I have the option to select my payment plan. So up the top here, I can pay the amount up front, or I can pay in weekly installments, and then the settings of that is shown here. The different types of payment plans that you can provide as a club can be set by you. So if you only want customers to be able to pay monthly, for instance, then you have the ability to only show them that option. So I can go to checkout, and then this is where I'll fill all my details in. Really, really easy, straightforward. We're going to go back and go through another example. This time we're going to look at football. And we're going to do the block booking from the start. So as you can see, I'm changing it to a block booking again. I'm setting in my parameters. I'm checking my availability. This time, what the video is actually showing you is that when I've checked the availability, it's giving us examples of situations where one of my sessions that I've picked is not going to be available. And it's not going to be available because someone else is already using that pitch. There's another booking taking place on that pitch. So this process shows me that if there is one of my slots or one of my sessions can't happen at that time, Bookteq is very, very clear in alerting me and showing me that that can't take place. And I can actually go ahead and delete those sessions as I wish, and then go ahead and proceed with my payment plan as well. Showing us a total. And again, like we've got here, in this situation, we've got a range of different payment plans that we can choose from. So because it was different to the other one, it also allows you to see that I can actually offer different payment plans dependent upon the facility as well. And as we see here, we've got the we can pay the full amount up front, we can pay in weekly, monthly, or quarterly installments. After I select my payment plan, then I can actually go towards checkout. It also gives me a breakdown of when those payments are going to happen and how much they're actually going to be. So we're going to go through a couple more examples. We're doing another option here where we're selecting the block booking at the top. We can select a date, a start time, not obviously duration. And again, this is where we're going to be setting the parameters of that booking. How often do I want it to repeat, and on what days do I want it to repeat? And also after how many sessions or on what date do then I want that block booking to go ahead and stop. So this is also showing us that there are clashes. What this clip is also going to show us is that if you don't want to delete any sessions that are already double booked, but actually want to, reschedule that session, what you can do is, instead of deleting it, you can press on the pen icon and actually reschedule that particular session to another time. And what is really, really good about this feature as well is that it actually shows you what times within that day are actually available or not. So you're not going in blind. I can clearly see that from 5 o'clock onwards for the rest of the evening is available, and I'm actually in a position to go ahead and book that and rebook that slot. I save those changes, and then the block goes to a green, which knows that it's good, available, and I'm ready to proceed. Again, the payment information here, very straightforward, standard payment information. Once I've booked, I'll get a booking confirmation. That's my reference number. And if I do want to book more than once, I can go in and book another slot really, really quickly and really, really easily. Again, we're just going to go through another example. This time, this example actually shows another feature within Bookteq called Add-Ons. So this is the ability for you as a club to actually add extra services that you can provide. Now, this could be equipment, as we can see here. We have the opportunity to actually add rackets to our order for a price. Or alternatively, it could be catering options. I know many of you will run your own events, run your own parties, weddings, things like that. It could be even sort of after match teas, before pre-match teas, things like that. So you can actually add those options to customers for them to be able to book and actually stick a cost on them as well. So then when they go ahead and actually pay for the booking, the overall price of that add-on will contribute to that booking as well. This again just shows I can still edit the booking at any point during this process before I go ahead and choose a payment plan. Okay, so I've skipped on again there. So that first bit was around the instant block booking process. I hope that was really, really clear. Obviously, any questions, we can go through them at the end. The second half of this video, which we're going to go through, is going to be the customer portal. So this is going to be their customer's own Bookteq account, where they can log into and actually check the status of all their bookings that they've made across a range of venues. So the first thing a customer is going to see when they do log into their account is actually just the range of bookings that they've got. And what we can also see is we've got a venue button at the top. So if I have got multiple bookings across multiple venues, this is where I'll be able to toggle between the different venues and see the bookings I've got for each venue. There's also a range of filters for these lists of bookings, so I can actually be really specific on what type of booking I want to search. They have really useful one, a payment filter, so I can actually check what bookings I still haven't paid yet, which we know is always very useful. And I can actually go into these individual bookings and see the bookings that fall under that. So this is a block booking that we've used as an example. So I've gone into my block booking, and now I can see all the different sessions within that booking. So it shows the payment status, it shows where the booking actually is, what date, what price, how much has been paid, and I've got some actions as well. I can actually contact the venue, or I can have the ability to cancel a booking myself. So if I do decide to cancel a booking, I just need to tick the box of the sessions within my block booking that I want to cancel. So you can see me here just ticking a few sessions that I would like to cancel, and I can go ahead and actually cancel that booking. What is important at this stage is that any sort of changes or edits that are made will automatically be will go straight to the club, and you'll be notified of that, and you'll also have a final approval of whether you'll allow that to go ahead. The customer will be made aware that if they do decide to cancel a booking, whether that falls within or outside of your own cancellation policy as well, so that will also dictate whether they'll be accepted for a refund as well. So any decisions and any actions that the customer take through their bookings, you as a club will know, and you as a club will actually be able to approve that. So we can actually, from a customer's perspective, go in and edit these bookings. So say one weekend I actually wanted to change the time of day, or a fixture's changed, or a training session wants to change. I can go into these individual bookings, and again, I can see, I can actually toggle between other days within the calendar month and check availability. So all of these slots are available. I'm just showing you the functionality of going between days and seeing what other slots are available for my booking. Again, here we've got the add-on feature in full effect. Do I want to change in room with this booking? The customer can also choose that. And we also have additional questions as well. So you as a club can actually create questions that the customer has to answer. So a really good one is, do you require coaching for this booking? Or if it's going to be a little bit more bespoke around space hire, how many people are going to be attending this booking? You need to be made aware that we don't do under 18 events, things like that. So there's really good innovative ways you can actually communicate and get more information out of the customer as well. And again, from my customer's perspective, this needs to be approved by the facility, as I just mentioned. They will be made aware of that, as you can see, and then I can also see the price as well. So at the bottom here, we've got our Pay Now feature. So this will show me and then a menu where I can go to and actually enter my card details and pay. When this is released, this will also have the option of having payment plans to this as well. So a customer will be able to select payment plans like they did on the instant block booking video I just showed, and they'll be able to pay for that online. There are some other filters up here. So payments and invoices, they will start to develop as customers actually pay, and thus following the first payment, when they select their payment plans, invoices are sent, they'll be able to view all their payment history and their invoice history as well. So that is from a customer's perspective, how I can view my bookings. If I actually want to create a booking, as a customer, I can do so through this platform as well. So I can go on to new booking, and it will show me the live widget, the live calendar for that venue, and I can still interact with it. So I can actually go through and select any activity, any sport, and be able to see live availability for that particular facility. I can toggle between any day and see any time that's available to me, and then go through the usual booking process as well. Just some other bits and pieces following on from that. We have a profile setting. So this is where the customer will fill out all their details, and where they can also manage and create new passwords. So I hope that was really clear and really helpful on the two main features that are going to be hitting Bookteq over the next couple of weeks. I know that's a lot of information to take in, so write your questions down. If anything we need to go through, then we will go through it at the end. So you're probably thinking again, okay, so this is great, but why is it a benefit? Why are these features going to help me? And what I really want to sort of draw your attention back to what we said at the start. One of our main missions is to actually increase revenue was one, but the two main ones here I think are worthwhile is increasing accessibility and engagement with the community, and two, reducing your admin time. Allowing customers to be able to block book themselves is going to save you a lot of time when it comes to admin work. I've spoke to many Pitch Hero clubs, and I know firsthand how long it takes for some staff members and some volunteers to go through and actually liaise with the clubs, see what their fixtures, their fixture timetables like, and go in and actually generate those bookings themselves and make sure people have paid and making sure everyone's happy. If you put the onus on the customer, then they have the ability to do that. They have the ability to make the booking themselves and actually then edit it and as they go along. So as I said before, great tool for clubs looking to book fixtures, looking to book training sessions throughout the year. And it's not just for clubs, it's for the everyday user as well. It's for any external hires, any new customers that you haven't seen before coming in, see that you've got a really, really innovative and easy platform front end interface to use. And if they enjoy that experience, they're going to want to come again. And that's how you grow your customer base. That's how you grow community engagement. Less admin time for staff. We know block bookings can be a lengthy process. Well, what I've just highlighted, we know it can be a pain. So allowing the customers to do that themselves is going to be a really, really big help. Customers selecting their own payment plans. Bookteq is going to be in a position where once a customer selects a payment plan, they're going to be debited and invoiced automatically. That means you don't have to go and chase the invoices. You don't have to chase people's money. It's all going to be done on that automated basis. Customers also get reminders that an invoice is due to be paid in the next a week before, and also the day before it's meant to be paid. So they're kept in the know. And it's all about making this a more automated process. So more and more work is taken off of your hands. The customer portal. Again, it's allowing the customer to create the booking, to view, to cancel, edit, and also pay. You don't have to be chasing people. People can go in, they can view the status of their booking, they can select to pay online, and they can also select their own payment plans. So again, it's all going to be in a position where the onus is on them. They're going to be able to do that journey from start to finish, and you can see all this happening. The really important thing is it's transparent. You can see at what stage of the process the customer is. It's just less work for you. I think the amount of time I imagine that some of the staff members spend talking and liaising with these clubs to try and make everyone happy, or to go back and forth with bookings, what things you need, what things don't you need. We've got such a great range of features that allows the customer to go in, select their add-ons, answer any questions that you have as the customer. And when people do place a booking online, you have the ultimate power to either approve or reject that booking based on the information they've actually filled out as well. So although this may look like you're giving too much power to the customer, at the end of the day, you are going to have the final say on who uses your facility and who doesn't. Excuse me. So one of the case studies that we've done really, really recently is with Stanford AFC. So we actually sat down with the treasurer there, Sean, and actually went through really, really meticulously what sort of challenges they were facing and what sort of things they really wanted to improve on. So one of the things is they were seeing good utilization around their sports facility, around their pitches, but there were still areas where they know they could improve. And they really had some trouble finding extra bookings around their space hire. So they have some meeting rooms and they also have a clubhouse. So they came to us with this problem and said, look, we're really, really interested in using the software. Let's see what can happen. So we provided them with Bookteq to actually manage that. They do make use of the Playfinder marketplace. So they have a listing online and they also have a widget on their website. And it also draws, if you look at Sean's quote on the left-hand side, it also draws back to the importance of the 1 month trial period that Dan mentioned earlier. he actually says that having the 1 month trial period meant that they could actually use it themselves, show it to other people, get everyone on board and make sure it was the perfect product before actually committing to it, before actually then going on and actually paying for the system themselves. So that was the background. And then we take a look at the results. So from these results, after the first 6 months, they told us that Bookteq allowed the staff to actually, streamline their bookings a lot more, and allowed them to spend valuable time on other tasks. As I mentioned before, the pictures were utilised well previously, but the booking system and their online booking platform actually meant that extra spaces were able to be filled. So let's look at some statistics here. So we know the numbers matter. So in the first few months of using Bookteq, space hire bookings have made up 13% of their bookings at AFC. So that's actually quite a lot when you think about bookings in general. Their monthly revenue over that first 6 month period actually increased by 21%. And they have increased venue utilisation by 7% across their board. So that's just in the first 6 months. Before the summer, before we start to get busy for the pre-season, that's towards the back end of last year. So some really promising results, and we expect that to grow and continue to grow over the coming months. And again, Sean sat down with us and we asked him a range of questions, and he come and said this. He said, we see a return on investment for what we're paying for, both from an efficiency point of view, the presentation of our club's image out to our customers, and the ability to bring in new revenue that we wouldn't normally see. So they've been really, really pleased with actually showing how professional the club has actually looked in sort of embedding a product like this, and also going out and reaching new customers, engaging with their current ones, and then going out and reaching new ones. So this is a little bit more information around pricing. Pricing starts at £30 a month, and that is inclusive of VAT as well. There is a 1.25% maintenance fee only on online payments. That's a small fee that Bookteq charge. And if you want to be listed on the Playfinder marketplace, that is a 3% commission on any bookings that come in online. So the Playfinder marketplace is optional, but if you did go to there only on online bookings, we're looking at just over 4% commission across the two platforms. So the main thing probably to think about it here, and we speak a lot about return on investment, is it worth your money? Is it worth spending £30 a month on a system like this? And the main question we ask all the time when speaking to clubs is, what's your average booking that you take from a customer? What's your average pitch hire? What's your average clubhouse hire or your meeting room cost? If you just got one more booking a month extra out of Bookteq, which we guarantee that you will, then it's already paid for itself. And that, combined with the reduction in the amount of time and admin that your volunteers and your staff will be using to manage the day-to-day of the club, we see this as a really, really positive change and a positive influence over the club. So how do I sign up? So you're really, really excited by what you've seen today. You want to find out more. This is the process you'll follow. In your Pitch Hero admin account on your dashboard, there is a section on the left-hand side that says facility bookings with a small Bookteq logo. If you then click on that, then you'll see the landing page for Bookteq. You're able to sign up. You're able to then complete a form which provides a little bit more information about your club and your venue and really what you want to get out of it. And then you'll book a slot with your own client manager. They will take you through the onboarding process. They will provide training for yourself and also staff. They will help you set up the account, and then you will enroll on your 1 month free trial period. The really important thing about our onboarding process, we have a great team. We have a team that works 7 days a week. So even at the weekends, if something goes wrong or you're really not sure, there's always someone to ring up. There's always someone to message online on a live chat and actually communicate with and speak to and get some help. So that's a really, really important step as well. And of course, you get the 1 month free trial period. So that's a whole month just to use it as much as you can, and actually just to really, really make sure this is going to be the right product for you. And as Dan said before, if it isn't, and you don't think it's going to be a good fit, then you are within your rights to leave at any time during that 1 month period.
Awesome. So I think we'll just have a see if there's any questions that have come through. There isn't any that I've seen so far, but we'll give everyone a couple of minutes just to put any questions through to Dan, through to me, and hopefully we'll be able to ask them. Just wait a second.
Yeah, and just to add, look, I know I mentioned it before, but I appreciate that what we've shown here today, for anyone who's actually, this is the first webinar they've joined, I appreciate today we've focused on certain specific features that are new, that are coming out over the next couple of weeks. So if there is anyone who actually wants to see a more sort of well-rounded demo of the back end of Bookteq, what you will see as an actual staff member and how you can sort of create your space and facilities, what your calendar looks like, how you create customers, manage payments, things like that, and then definitely get in touch. We'll obviously send a recording of the webinar around for everyone anyway, and I'll definitely be able to show you some basic functionality of what that looks like from your perspective, and give you more of an insight into how that looks.
Yeah, absolutely, and like we keep saying, let's just make advantage of that free trial that you get. So it's definitely that it's available to investigate and see if it will work for your club. It doesn't look like we've got any questions so far, but I've got one kind of scenario which, Dan, you might be able to kind of add more to. But with some of these new features that you're releasing, could a club now host their own classes? So if they wanted to say create a community-wide fitness session or some kind of youth coaching session that is affiliated to the club, could they do that through these new tools?
So exactly. So it's in the early stages at the moment. So we've got a few releases of our sessions feature in the early sort of stages at the moment. We're expecting customers to be able to see potential customers and their current customers to see more of that over the coming weeks, and actually start testing it with a few venues. We expect it to be fully completed by the beginning of September. And you're exactly right, Dan. You will essentially, if you want to, be able to run your own classes. As a club, I can create a class, I can create a session. So let's use the example of a summer football camp. I could then actually create a session every Saturday afternoon, for example, restrict that session to 20 places. Each place is £10, and I'll be able to manage that. I'll be able to put it online, so anyone who wants to actually see that session online and be able to book that, they can. And it's the same principle with courses. So say I'm running my own class, I'm running my own talk, for instance, then it's the same concept, it's the same structure, and you'd be able to do exactly that. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's a really good opportunity for a club to be able to offer that and manage it, complete the whole process. We had one question come through from Neil. So Neil has asked, how do you alert prospective customers of the availability of the booking system? Most of our inquiries currently are by phone or email. And then a follow-up question, how does the booking system integrate with back-end invoicing / accounts packages? So something like a Xero or a QuickBooks or something like that.
Yeah. So in terms of alerting prospective customers of the availability of the booking system, customers will be able to see the availability of certain facilities through the online calendar that we saw earlier. So if I'm a customer, I can go on your Pitch Hero website. There will be a section on the Pitch Hero website that will be facility bookings, for instance, and it will show a live booking calendar of availability based on the availability in Bookteq. So it integrates together. So as a customer, I can then go to your website, I can see what's available, and then I can go ahead and make that booking based on the availability that I can see. So people can still get in touch by phone and email, because you'll still have that information on your website. But what we find is, if you've got the infrastructure on your website to allow people to actually create that booking themselves, and they enjoy that experience, then you'll have more chance of actually people converting. You have more chance, especially new customers, actually going ahead and making a booking and committing to a booking. In terms of integrations with invoicing and accounts packages, we don't fully integrate with accounting systems currently, but what we do have is we have a specific feature under in the back end of Bookteq called Invoice Reports. What that does is that generates an invoice report between two specific dates that you can set, and that is fully compatible with any accounting software. So what I can do is I can generate that report, and then I can upload it directly into Xero, SagePay, or whatever accounting system that you use.
Cool. And then we've got one more from Dylan, who, how would the banking side work, and like by making refunds if necessary?
Okay, so in terms of refunds, within Bookteq, there is a section, there is settings around cancellation policy. So what you can do is you can actually turn on a setting where cancellations are going to be automatically accepted. And what you can also do is set a window by what sort of your maximum allowances for people when actually making a cancellation. And obviously that's going to be different dependent upon venue to venue and organisation to organisation. So if someone does have a booking and they cancel that booking, but it's within your cancellation rules, then the cancellation will go ahead. You'll be notified of that, and you'll get to approve that as well through the back end. If they've made that booking online, so if they've cancelled within the time frame and they've made that booking online, the refund will be issued automatically. If they've made that booking using any offline methods, if they've used cash, direct debit, backs, things like that, they'll still be able to cancel the booking, but the refund will have to be issued by yourself because they've used an offline method. So essentially the quick answer is if they pay online and cancel within your timeframes, then the refund will happen automatically through Stripe and through Bookteq. So that's how that would work. I hope that's clear. If that's not clear in any way, or there's anything else, then please let me know.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's
Perfect.
Everything so far. And I think, yeah, I think we've covered a lot of the things. And like Dan said, if anyone is looking for an actual more personalized demo, then we'll be sending out this recording after the webinar probably tomorrow now, and it'll have information about how you can make contact with Dan and potentially book a call where you can discuss how your club works, what you currently use to manage facilities, and Dan can just kind of show you, give you his expertise on what Bookteq can do for your club. Yeah,
so, sorry, Dan, those types of demos I'll be able to show you exactly how things like the invoice reporting works, how what the settings look like to turn on those cancellations and how those refunds are issued. I'll also be able to actually show you how you as a club manage a payment. So we accept all types of payment, any offline methods and obviously online methods. So you actually be able to see and then be able to visualize what that actually looks like. I suppose one last point from me is there's one more webinar that is due to take place in 2 weeks' time, which is going to be the last one of a 3-part series that we've done over the last couple of weeks. And what I'm hoping to is to actually share that webinar on our sessions features, so actually show a little bit more information around how you can run your own classes, how you can run your own courses, what that's going to look like to you, and actually what that's going to look like to your customers as well. So if that is of interest, then please keep a lookout, because communications will be going out sort of next week to make you aware.
Yeah, absolutely, sounds good. Yeah, I think that's it. There's no more questions that have come through, Dan, so I think we leave it there. And thank you everyone again for attending. Hopefully it was really useful, and we'll send out some follow-up information after this. So go and enjoy your evening. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice one. Bye-bye.